Hello. Oh, wait, did I go? Is it working? Uh, Hold on. I don't know what this system is doing. Or just remove this. Oh, God. Okay, hold on, guys. I don't know what the system's doing really quick. Aha! Hello, and welcome to your weekly Spirit of the Soul show. It's Power Coach Alicia here, and today we are talking about relinquishing control of the outside, even if you have a type A personality. So if you're just joining us here, be sure to drop hashtag live party in the comments if you are live with me. If you're watching this on replay, it is hashtag after party. All right. Now, if you have not got the November Let It Go guide, you are going to want to drop hashtag November, all one word, hashtag November in the comments. And my bot Shaniqua will send you the guide for this month. If this is your first time here, it's hashtag light for everybody on Facebook. You can use these hashtags to get what I have for you. Hashtag light will get you my Let It did I say Let It Go bundle on the other one? The Let It Go guide for this month, because this entire series for the month of November is about letting it go. But I also have a free Let It Go bundle. So you want to drop hashtag light in the comment to get that. Every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern, a brand new episode of the Soulfire podcast drops at soulfirepodcast.com. Again, that is soulfirepodcast.com. December 5th, we'll wrap up season 3 of the Soulfire podcast. And then for about 16 to 20 weeks, we will do rewinds of the best episodes of the entire podcast. So again, soulfirepodcast.com. You can subscribe on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Okay. I don't think we need to jump into your guide right now, because I'm pretty sure that your guide work happens after session. But remember, today we are talking about relinquishing control. Yes, we will talk about your guide afterwards, but make sure you drop hashtag light in the comments to get the guide that goes along with this month. So number one, what we're going to talk about today is actually letting go of control. All right, this is one of my favorite topics, and the number one thing that I have to continually learn how to do, because I have a type A personality. Why is that in there? That likes to be in control, right? I like things the way that I like them. You know, I'm a really big proponent of what I know, right? What I can trust, where I can move. However, when you are a type A personality, when you do like things the way that you like them, and a long time ago, I didn't like change at all. And now I've learned to embrace change. However, it still takes me a chunk of time to live in that change, right? To be in that flow, to find my groove. And I give myself grace for that. So instead of making yourself be perfect when you are moving into letting go of control and relinquishing control, even with your type A personality, if you're like me, always give yourself grace in that and give yourself that space and time to assimilate to the change and what's new, and to find your flow and groove in that. One thing to know about control is that it keeps you trapped in anxiety. Okay. So if you have to control everything, you will stay trapped with anxiety. We live in a world where if you're struggling with your feelings, right? Maybe you're feeling that, what I call this like a vibration, almost like not necessarily an agitation, but like how you feel inside when you have way too much caffeine and your body's just vibrating like this. That's how I like to think of anxiety. All right. And we live in a world where if you feel that way, there's something wrong and you need to get on meds and you need to go see a therapist. And there's like all of these things that you need to do that are outside of yourself. You never hear where they're talking about, okay, here's the first step to take for yourself, right? Unless it's a life coach out there talking about that, then they come from the perspective of, hey, here's the very first thing, which would be breath work or meditation. Okay. Because the true power within yourself lies within flowing rather than fighting. Okay. So to master relinquishing control, see, it's equals flowing. Hi, Julie. Flowing rather than fighting. So you always need to be asking yourself, am I flowing with this or am I fighting against this? Am I allowing that energy to move me and carrying me? Or am I fighting against it because it feels uncomfortable, or because I don't understand it, or because it's something new? All right? So if you, or the more you, I can't get this note to copy for myself. There we go. The more you try to control outcomes, the more you'll feel them slipping away. The more you try to control people, the more you'll feel them slipping away. And for me, that's more, I mean, both of those things are actually huge for me. I am a Libra ascendant in astrology, and Libras are all about harmonizing and the balance and the evenness of things. They're also about giving and giving and giving and giving. Libras very much so overgive. And because they're about harmonizing and balance in the sign of the scales, there's a lot of control that Libra will feel, because they have to be in control in order to balance. So it makes them control everything, right? It makes them give everything. It makes them operate under earning and proving and showing people their worth. And although everything that I just mentioned is a good thing, it is also the demise of the Libra, especially a Libra ascendant. Because the more we try to control, the more we do our best to harmonize. Actually, a Libra isn't about harmonizing, but I choose harmony because I don't believe in balance. The more a Libra attempts to balance, the more the Libra attempts to earn and prove and give, the more that security within them starts to slip away. Now, you don't have to be a Libra to feel this, right? However, a Libra will feel it at the highest of levels, a Libra ascendant specifically, okay? If you are a Libra sun, it's going to be a little bit different, because an ascendant is how you show up in the world. And so that's where the people pleasing, the overgiving, and all of that is. Now, you will have some of those baseline characteristics if you are a Libra sun, but it's exacerbated if you are a Libra ascendant sign. So one of the things I want you to think of when you're attempting to control outcomes and you start to feel them slipping away is, I want you to think of trying to, and I use that word intentionally, trying to hold water with a clenched fist. It's never going to work, right? It's just going to keep slipping through your fingers because you can't do it that way. Reframe why you're controlling. See, a lot of the times when we are attempting to control, well, let me back up just a little bit. We think of control like a literal thing. Oh, I don't control people. I'm not like that. What is it like around your house? When the dishes are being done, when the house is being cleaned, when laundry is done? Are you taking over these situations, these circumstances, and what someone else is doing because the way they're doing it isn't up to your standard? It isn't how you would do it. It isn't what you feel is the way that needs to be done. Or are you free loving and peaceful flowing because it's cool the way that they do it? Have you grown in that evolution? Or do you not have the personality to control? If you don't have the personality control to have things your way, then some of this might not connect with you, but you should still stick with me throughout this session, because you're going to learn a fuck ton, especially those of us with type A personalities. And that need and that urge to control is really about the urge and need for safety. The more that we control, the more that we operate, the more things are in a way that we're used to, that feel good, right? That are consistent, the more safe we feel. But the less they're like those ways, the more unsafe we feel. And then what happens from there is you start reacting to your feelings of feeling unsafe, opposed to creating an environment where you control what you can control. You relinquish and turn over control of the things that are outside of you that aren't yours to control, back to what holds that. At the time that I'm recording this, I am thinking of politics and the presidential election, right? It's 2024. We just got done with the presidential election. And I'm thinking about the fact that anybody on the losing side is scrambling like a motherfucker for control. And you could put anything in here. You could put a relationship that isn't going your way, which I could use as an example because this last weekend in my life was a complete and utter shit show. Probably one of the most horrible weekends that I have ever had, that I have had in a very long time in a relationship. And when I say a weekend, it's not like the worst day I've ever had in a relationship. It's the worst weekend I have had. Why? Because it was compounded on top of each other. But I'm going to stick with presidential election. I use myself as an example all the time, so I'm not going to in this one. So anybody who is on the losing side, and I'm going to quote this because I believe that everybody loses at a high level when it comes to politics. And the more that we can really understand that it doesn't matter what side you're on or what your belief system is or what your opinions are or anything like that. The majority of it is lose-lose for the world because the agenda is for the few, period. It doesn't matter what side it's on. Okay? So back to this. So for the side that loses the presidential election, right? They go in full steam, nowadays especially, man, full steam mode of control. Look around you right now. Look at the high levels of control of the people who lost. Okay? They are fighting like fucking hell to prove and convince and manipulate and strong arm anyone that they believe voted against their rights. I'm quoting all of this because it's all belief. You don't know that. None of us are going to know anything until it's already done and we know. Okay? That's why all of this is in quotes. So if they're on the other side, they believe that other people voted against their rights, especially with this presidential election. It's basically every fucking presidential election, but we'll stick with this one. So when the other person doesn't come to their side, what do? They double down and say, fuck you, you're out of my life. You're a piece of shit because you voted against my rights. So because you won't see my opinion, you will not see my perspective, you will not agree with where I'm coming from, the last thing that I can do to control you is either threaten to remove you from my life unless you change what your perspective is, or remove you from my life because you won't. This is the epitome of relinquishing control of the, or actually rephrase, this is the epitome of controlling the outside. It is not your place. It is not your job. It is not your right to manipulate and strong arm and belittle and degrade and demean people who make decisions that you don't agree with or who don't agree with you. That's not your job. What's within your circle of control is how you show up, what your belief systems are, and what you do with those belief systems. See, if you look at focusing on what's within your control on the inside, it's where do you give your time, your energy, and your attention? Let's say it's the presidential election. If you are giving it to what other people are or aren't doing, you're wrong. Because it's always about what you are or aren't doing. Are you lobbying? Are you out there making changes for reform at the levels that it matters, like in your cities, in your states? Are you doing what it is that you believe is the best in changing and getting change and invoking change? Or are you so wrapped up into the negative side of it all that where your time, energy, and attention is going is actually causing more destruction in the world, in your life, in your soul? I think the election is a great example of this because it's being misapplied in how we show up for ourselves first and foremost, in our belief systems first and foremost, in our fucking values first and foremost. Nobody knows that our rights are going to be taken away. It's just what it looks like. Nobody knows that the gay or the black are going to have the least amount of opportunity and da 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 da, and be able to be free and da 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 da. Nobody knows that to be true. So when you are attempting to manipulate and strong arm and control these things that you don't know, but that you think are going to happen, you're wrong. Because there's no point in putting your energy there. There's nothing that you're going to accomplish putting your energy in the unknown. What are your values? What are your morals? What kind of fucking person are you? Are you a demeaning, degrading, controlling, strong-arming, vindictive person? That's not who you are. Why are you showing up like that? Because things aren't going the way that you wanted them to. See, I talk about this first portion of this session, and I use politics as an example of control. And I can feel anyone who is on a different side than what they think I'm on, fighting against everything that I've said. But the truth is, I don't give a fuck. I'm not on any side. It doesn't matter to me, which can also be another reason for people to attack and fight and belittle and control and manipulate. It should matter to you. No. That's your belief system. That's you trying to control me. That's you attempting to get me to do what you do. It doesn't matter to me, because when I get wrapped up in that, my soul is the darkest it ever is in my life. It doesn't matter to me, because when I get wrapped up in that, the negativity, the way that energy feels is dark and mean and disgusting. I feel so powerless in that energy. I feel so fucked up in that energy. I feel so evil in that energy. So it isn't anybody else's right to tell me that I should be away because they think I should. It isn't anybody's right to treat me bad because I'm not willing to be in an energy that is horrible for me, to be against my morals and my values and how I show up myself. I think this is a perfect example, because someone else's belief system and how they show up is tearing everyone down around them who doesn't agree with them. I don't agree with that. So I'm not going to do that. Those are against my morals. Those are against my values. Those are against who the fuck I am. But nobody cares about that. Everybody wants each other doing what they think is right. So if you believe that what is right for me is being the worst version of myself to other people because of decisions that they've made, that to me means that person, those people don't have a right in my life, regardless of the subject. Because anybody who is in my life, anybody who is in your life, the number one thing you want from them is for them to love, accept, value, honor, and respect you for the person that you are. And they can't ask you to be a different person when it's convenient for them and will make them feel good. That's not how this works. So when we talk about relinquishing control of the outside believes that each other should show up and operate and do things at a certain level. But what does your inside say? What do you have control of? I am a mean fucking person if I get negative and dark in my soul. And I will destroy anyone or anything in my path when I'm in that energy. I absolutely hate being that person and being in that energy. And I refuse to do that because anyone believes I should. No one gets to decide how you show up. And only you have the control of how you show up in all ways, whether good or bad. This election has been a nightmare for me. because of the way people operate. And it has tested me at levels that I wasn't even expecting, because I'm choosing to protect everyone from my darkness. And in the same breath, I am getting ostracized and degraded and demeaned for that, because they're attempting to control something that's on the outside of them while I am controlling what's on the inside of me. The last election, I got all wrapped up in, and it fucked me up. 9 straight months, thousands of hours of training and research. And I swear to God, I should have had a storyboard on a wall. I promised myself I would never do that again. I would never get so wrapped up. I would never live like that again, because it took me almost a year to get myself out of that hole. I would never do that again, because that's what I have control over. I have control over of how I feel inside, how I show up, what I do, what I give, how I love, how I value, how I honor, how I respect. I have control of who the fuck I am in the world. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you are tearing people down left and right, that's outside. If you are angry at people because they took an action that was against you, that's outside. If you are removing people from your life because they didn't do what you thought they should do based on unknown results, none of us know, that's on the outside. You need to figure out who the fuck you are, your morals, your values, your standards for your fucking self, outside of politics and choices and religion and relationships and parenting and a wife and your only job is to live in that energy and live in that place and be that version of you to the best of your ability every single fucking day, regardless of the outside. Because if you don't, the negativity, the darkness, and the evil in any of the areas of life will take you over, because you're attempting to control something that's on the outside of you that you don't have control over. Now, if you are listening to this and you are watching this, and this is, in, November of 2024 or anywhere around this, and you hear me telling you what the whole point of just life and growing and learning and evolving is, and then you look around you, you will be able to see very clearly that the destruction that is going on all around you in relationships and in people is because everyone is attempting to control what's outside of themselves instead of focusing on who the fuck it is that they want to be, period. How the fuck they want to show up, period. What difference they want to make, period. You're going to find out really quick why it's like that. And you're going to be able to tell it and go, nope, I'm not going to engage with that. That's outside. That person is not going to be good for me. This conversation is not going to be good for me. This energy is not going to be good for me. Okay? I digress. If you don't know who I am, I'm Power Coach Alicia, soul healer, author, and speaker, and I specialize in helping you never apologize for who you are, how you feel, and what you need. So if you are ready to harmonize your life, to stand in your power, and to live in a way that you are soul aligned, you are absolutely in the right place. And if you haven't already, drop hashtag November in the comments and get the Let It Go guide that goes along with the November live series of letting go and all the different areas. If you haven't gotten my free Let It Go bundle, drop hashtag light in the comments and you'll get that bundle as well. The Soulfire podcast released on Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern. We are about to wrap season number 3, but we will be doing a rewind for the next 4 months while I reset, recharge, and gear up for season 4. Just go to soulfirepodcast.com and then you can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Options and opinions for me is another way for me to learn if it's in a safe way. Absolutely. And I don't feel that, ultimately, I don't feel with, especially like politics and religion, at this point in time in our world, how people show up and the destruction that COVID did between people, I don't believe anybody is safe who doesn't share alike thoughts and opinions. I don't think anybody's safe. If you don't share the same thoughts and opinions, you're probably not safe in that conversation, because everybody's wrapped up in, you agree with me and you ride with me, or you get the fuck out. Regardless of whether or not it goes against who you are, how you feel, what your soul needs. If you're not with me, you don't ride with me, you don't agree with me, you get the fuck out of my life. So you're absolutely right, Julia. It's beautiful if two people can enter in who have different, viewpoints and different feelings, because 100% sides that you're on, huge opportunity to learn. But I think in the world that we're in right now, everybody's only learning what they already know, deepening what they already know, and completely and utterly against anything that could help them see an alternate perspective in a multitude of ways, not even just politics. Again, I believe that COVID did a really good job of that. And I would say that our government and politicians did a really good job of that during COVID. All right. So number one, that was number one, letting go of control. Hopefully you got some power from that. Yeah, I used the election as an example, but I tied it all the way back around to any area of life. Because as a parent, you'll find that when you feel things are turbulent with your children, it's because you're trying to control something that's outside of your circle of control. You're not allowing their own free will, their own decisions, for them to step up and make their own mistakes, for them to learn and grow and evolve as a person. You're wanting them to do what it is you want them to do, the way that you want them to do it. And you're not giving them any individuality. You're not giving them any opportunity to check in with themselves and see what's best for them, because you automatically know. But one thing to note is, as your little human is growing, they've got to learn how to trust themselves. They've got to learn to make decisions for themselves that they feel is best for them, or not, and suffer those consequences. And every time you step in the middle and you attempt to control, because it is on the outside of you, you don't actually have control of that. And every time that you do that, that turbulence and that disconnection and that challenge that creates, is because you're on the outside. What we all need to learn how to do is offer up and allow that person to decide, regardless of in what area that's in. Just think what would happen if our children that didn't listen to us, they don't buy into our belief systems, they don't have the same ideals and ideologies as us, and they become their own independent person with their own ideas and their own values and their own, morals, all of those things. Just imagine what would happen if we treated it like religion and politics and kicked them out of our life because they see things differently than us, just in general. See, most people would never do that. That sounds asinine. Yet everybody's fighting to the death over politics, which is asinine. Just saying. Let go of expectations, which is number 2. So the very first thing to note with expectations and, letting go of them, because this is so fucking important. Whoa, I almost fell backwards. It's so important, is sometimes the universe has better plans for you than you do. And if we can let go of what our idea is, how we were supposed to move, and, what that was supposed to look like and feel like, and see it from an aerial view, right? An alternate perspective. One of the most powerful things that you'll get is ooh, I'm being led here. Oh my God, I'm learning this lesson here. I'm growing here. This was a huge epiphany for me in this area, right? It gives you that power. Your tight grip on expectations can block unexpected blessings. Let go of the expectations on how someone should show up and what they should do and the way that they should do it and the energy that they should do it in. As long as it doesn't go against your boundaries, let them be who they are and allow yourself to reap what is coming for you with that. Instead of going, no, I want it like this. Again, back to control, and it needs to look like this and feel like this. And because it doesn't, I'm fighting and I'm manipulating, I'm controlling, I'm strong-arming, I'm angry, I'm, threatening, I'm giving ultimatums. There's some blessings in there. And usually those blessings are in the lessons, but you're never going to see the lessons and reap the benefit of the blessings if you are in the middle of it, if you're in the fucking way. Your plan, your idea, your opinion, your perspective, all of it is just one possibility among infinite possibilities, results, and things that can happen. It's just one option from that. And holding too tightly to your version leaves no room for something better to emerge. Leaves no room for a deeper understanding, a deeper connection, an opportunity for evolution, and an opportunity for growth. We're all here because we see things differently, we feel things differently, we do things differently, and we all have different purposes. So why the fuck are we running through life attempting to get everyone to be just like us, think like us, show up like us, do like us, feel like us? What a boring fucking world. I absolutely don't want to live in that. Because I think, just like Julie does, that the different options and opinions and perspectives are what help me grow and evolve. And they also are what helps me become closer to the people in my life and understand them better. It's a beautiful thing in my mind to not all agree. Coming from a Taurus who had to learn that they're not always right, right? The best parts of your life often come from the moments that you don't plan, the conversations that you're not trying to control, the energy that you're not trying to manipulate. It's just flowing, being, and allowing. And the detours are surprises that seemed like obstacles, but they became doorways. Okay? Ugh, I love that. And number 3 is steps right into the expectations, and the expectations pretty much led us here. And that's being open to what's possible. See, again, we want things to be in a way of certainty, security, no, agree, same page, same energy, same thoughts, same everything. Because what we know, what we control, what is comfortable, as we said earlier, keeps us safe. So when things start to change, we start to feel unsafe. We start to feel uncomfortable. And then we want to manipulate. We want to get in there and strong arm and control it and make it what we believe it should be. And then we are squashing all opportunities, all newness, all growth, all beauty, because we're so stuck in what we want it to be like, what we want it to look like, what we want it to feel like, how we want it to move. Okay? So be open to what's possible. And it doesn't mean, which I love this, like surrender and flow and ease. It doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way and trusting that what comes your way is meant for you to be a better version of you. This was really hard for me to get. This, because we're talking about opening up to what's possible, letting it be. I am an actionable person. I take action. I move. It's like an active thing for me. Everything is. So surrendering and learning that surrendering is also active, because in my mind, I thought that surrendering was passive. Surrendering is an intentional active action where you are saying, I am allowing the flow. I am allowing the movement. I am allowing the lessons, the growth, and the learning. So when those things come up, you're going, all right, come on in. You still got to open the fucking door. You still got to welcome them to your home, right? Hey, did you want a drink? Food will be done soon. You still got to set the tone, the energy, the environment. Those are all active. See, people think of surrender like, fuck it. Hands up. Whatever happens, happens. No, surrendering is like, you know what? I welcome what is going to show up. I welcome it. Come on in. Have a seat. You want a water or something else to drink? Dinner's going to be done soon. The music's on. The lighting's good. Right? Surrendering is a good energy that still has an active action. You're just not trying to control where it goes, what happens, what's said, what's done. It just fucking is. It's choosing to direct your energy towards flowing rather than forcing. And our last point in opening to what's possible is each time you've survived what you thought would break you, you've proven your resilience. Okay? You've proven that you can do this. Your track record for getting through hard things is 100%. If you're sitting here listening to this, and I will add, not wallowing and being a victim baby to your past or to what people's decisions are or to the fucking election or to what you didn't get that you wanted or what you did get that you didn't want. Okay? Your track record for getting through hard things is 100%. If you didn't allow it to break you down, if you didn't allow it to take you to darkness, if you didn't allow it to take you to evilness, if you didn't allow it to take you to manipulation and control and strong arming and ultimatums and if you did allow it to get you there, course correct. Do something different. Show up differently. Be different. You have that opportunity to do better now. One of the books I quote all the time that I love is The Little Gold Book of a Yes Attitude by Jeffrey Gitomer. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I will do better next time. By fill in the blank. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I will do better next time. By fill in the blank. What if somebody didn't bring it to your attention, but you watch this live and you realize, like, fuck, man, I'm under the spell of evil and darkness and vindictive and rude and manipulation and control and beat down and degrading. I could do this forever, right? I'm in this energy of shit regardless of outside. I'm choosing to let this cloud just fucking destroy me. You know what? It's been brought to my attention by a weird sequence of events or a live I saw of Power Coach Alicia that I'm not being the best version of myself because I'm letting things outside of my circle of control make me show up as somebody I'm not. And I'm going to be better about that by fill in the blank. You know, the only thing you could ask the other person of, or something you could ask the other person, please give me some grace. You don't have to apologize. That's what the point of the statement is to replace apologies. But in my opinion, my professional opinion, and from where I'm sitting, everybody needs to step forward in going inside and deciding, have they done what they should do for valuing, honoring, and respecting and loving themselves first and foremost? Not just loving, not just valuing, not just respecting, not just honoring, but all of them first and foremost. Because if more people would stop, look them fucking selves in the mirror and ask them, am I being the version of myself that I'm proud of? That's light, that's love, that's good? Or am I perpetuating darkness or disconnection or cyclic destruction? Again, these are questions you can ask, and you can look at that overall in your life, overall in how you show up. You could drill it down more tightly with your children, with your partner, with your family, with your friends. Right now, at this time that I'm recording this, the majority of people aren't. They're more focused on the outside and darkness. So here's what I'm going to say. I will always choose value, honor, respect, and love of myself first and foremost. Because I know if I do that, I will be in value, honor, respect, and love of the people in my quality world. And anyone who comes into my space and asks me to edit myself, be a lesser or worse version of myself so that they feel comfortable, so that they're made right, so that they feel they have power, will be immediately put in their place, and they will have a choice to make. So far, I'm 0 and 1 if I look at it this way. Or well, 1 and 0, did I win? Did I lose? I don't know. But so far, me doing that has caused me to lose someone. Oh well. Oh well. It's all good. Because I stayed within the value, honor, and respect and love of myself. And the way I brought it was of value, honor, respect, and love of them as well. And if they want to be the darkness, I will always choose to be the light. And it's not my job to control or force or manipulate or threaten. It's my job to do what I need to do to be the best version of me so that everyone else receives the best version of me. So they feel my love, so they feel my power, so they feel my light, so they feel my energy. And when people try to darken that, I put my foot down. And so should you in any situation. Okay? Remember, I use the election as an example, but I swear to you, I swear on everything that this example is for every area of your life, for who the fuck you are and how you show up or don't. The choice is yours. Remember to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. It is always about progress, not perfection. And you must give yourself way more grace than you give everyone else because the world needs who you were made to be. So show up every single fucking day as the badass you are and slay. I'm Power Coach Alicia. Make sure you jump into your Let It Go guide after this, and we'll see you next time. Bye.